And we are back for another edition of The Pulse on your Wednesday night updates. Oh, shit. You know what? I forgot. Let me do it this way. Let me do it. I keep forgetting the added features on StreamYard. So
Okay.
we are back for another edition, Wednesday night edition of The Pulse.
Oh, we have an applause track.
Yeah. So I need to do it like that. So quick around the horn, how y'all been this week? Rich,
Doing great.
of course. Deuce.
Oh, doing awesome, man. Doing awesome. No complaints. Have I done anything new this week? Nah, man. Just keep it on, man. I hope
Not
we got.
you were just talking about an AI summit or
Oh yeah. So it's Black Tech Week down here in LA. So tomorrow I'm going to an AI seminar or the workshop, man, to see how to integrate AI into small business, which is something I want to do when I retire. So that's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a networking opportunity, learning opportunity. So I'll tell y'all what I learned next week.
yeah, that's what's up. When I was in college, going for psychology,
Yeah.
that was going to be my major, but I also wanted to transition. I think I said this before, transition into AI because I wanted to make sure that the programming that was given to the different softwares to control AI wasn't programmed with the same biases as the god of that actual AI platform.
Right. The issues we're having now.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't finish it, but that's literally where and why I was doing that. Lynn, welcome on. How you doing?
Yo, what's going on?
Oh, you got it. How's your week been? Steph there with you, or is it just you?
She over, she in the back hating.
Not hating. Not hating.
I don't hate.
Okay.
Hey, Jay, my sister wants to tune in. What should I send her?
You can send her to Facebook under the Family Bloodline Podcast.
Okay,
Yes.
because I'm kidding.
They don't know
No, you know what? They know.
No, they don't.
They do.
That's why they was like, hey.
They know. They know I have a sense of humor. My wife, on the other hand, does not.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna stop laughing. I'm not trying to make a bad situation worse. That's my laugh.
As the humor, look, I'm saying everything. I'm smiling. You can see. Just having fun. If I can't have fun with her, who can I have fun with?
That's valid question.
Huh?
Himself.
Oh, so she wants me to have fun with myself. You see that?
Not at my expense. How y'all
It's
doing?
not at your expense.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Hey, before we get into deep topics, man, I got a question I need help with from you guys.
Okay.
How do you pronounce the name of this bottle?
Dulce.
I've heard some people say Douce. I'm like, I don't see it spelt that way.
They don't speak the proper. Yeah. Dulce.
I just saw a symbol like Prince.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I
So
did. It looks like Prince is that Prince cognac?
Jay-Z's.
Now, Prince symbol had there was something on the outside. Right?
Okay, I didn't look at it long because I was sending my sister the information.
All right. Trying to patched in and programmed. And since I've gotten us there again, everybody, welcome to the Pulse. And tonight we are going to be focusing on voting rights being up for grabs. Voting rights being up for grabs, or what seems like they are up for grabs, right? So this specific topic, actually, Deuce, you lead us in on this one.
All right, hold on. I got a little summary I already had prepared. So let me go back to it here so I can capture all the details, right? Because I was looking at the transcripts and what they were saying about it. All right, so we're talking about Louisiana versus, how you say that name?
Calais.
Huh?
Calais.
Calais, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so in short, after the 2020 census, Louisiana drew a congressional map that included one black district, despite the black residents making up 1/3 of the state's population. Black voters challenged it under Section 2 of the Voters' Rights Act, asserting that it diluted the voting strength. All right, lower court agreed to the original map, likely violating VRA, and ordered a new map, which Louisiana abided by. But then the second group of non-black voters, which is the key here, right? A second group of non-black voters sued.
Non-African American voters.
Yeah.
That's how it was actually summarized.
Okay. Claiming that the newly drawn map was an unconstitutional racial gerrymandering in violation of the 14th and 15th Amendments. So just before we start, that non-African American voting group, it's only two categories to me, right? If we're going to group other minorities to category A, or was it white, which would be category B?
So I didn't see a picture of the actual parties that filed.
Right.
And so I can't restrict it to simply white, because non-African American has a huge implication to it, because you have Asian American, you have Polynesian American, which a lot of them actually consider themselves black. Anyway, you have a portion of the Latin community that doesn't identify with the African heritage of Latin America. You have Caucasian, you have Italian, you have Irish, so on and so forth. And so it was spelled out that way on purpose, right? And so we get the undercurrent of the jargon that was used. We know they're saying black people.
No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that.
Say again?
It's deeper than that.
Go ahead, let me hear you.
That's why they didn't say black. Because
Okay.
black, you could be from America, you could come from Puerto Rico, Mexico, whatever, and you'd be black. You say, well, I'm not black. But those laws for the 13th to the 15th Amendment were made for the freedom of the enslaved African and their descendants. And that's why it's African American. That's the special distinction.
Yeah.
So when white people try to say, well, it was white slaves. No, there was no laws made for white slaves.
Right.
Those were the slaves of African descent that were brought over to America.
Okay, so I think we were saying the same thing, but as you were talking, something else just popped up into my head, especially when you take the 14th Amendment in consideration, because our brothers and sisters from Dominican Republic or from Haiti or any other heritage that didn't have this, don't have the same tie to slavery as the enslaved Africans were our descendants, they would not be considered African American in the same sense that a lot of them don't consider themselves to be African American in the same sense that we do.
Right, because they're saying that our ancestors came over the slaves to America, and they're refusing to acknowledge that they came to the Dominican and the Haiti and the entire Caribbean the same damn way. That's what they refuse to acknowledge. But let's move on.
Okay.
I want to say one thing on that comment. I'm interested to know who it is. Thank you guys for the breakdown. Also, I wonder if this is like a Trojan horse. We'll see the people who filed a claim. They'll be of some racial makeup. I'm gonna say, I wonder if it's gonna be similar to the affirmative action thing, right? We see who the plaintiff was, but then when you see the money behind the plaintiff, it was of a different ethnicity, right? So,
I think it ties into a larger issue that we'll talk about later in the show. Because I see where.
Go ahead.
This ties into a much larger issue. That I've been saying this for a few months. But we talk about this voting, and will they take a narrow view or a broad view on how they're going to gut, if they do, which they will, I'm predicting, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. But it's going to be funny if they do this. They're going to put themselves in another position down the road.
Yeah.
That President Trump may not want.
Yeah. I know where you're going with that. Lynn, Steph, y'all weigh in on it.
Here we go again. I just see it as another hurdle that we as a people have to clear. You know, it's the way the court is stacked. It's not in favor of us getting the outcome of just leaving it alone. Just leave it alone. You know, versus we have to dilute it, we have to diminish it, we have to
confuse it,
we have to make it complicated, all so that we can gain, not we, but they can gain
or protect
an advantage,
or protect
an advantage.
Because y'all tell me, all the smart people in the room tell me by 2055 that white America will no longer be the majority. At least that's what y'all been telling me for the last 2 years.
just the last 2 years.
Okay. 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fear of the Black Planet.
And brown, because the brown, it's going to be more brown than black.
Yes, absolutely.
It may be that already now.
Yeah.
But we ain't scared.
I think we still have a small margin over the brown. I think we're at 13 and they're at 10 or 11, if memory serves me right. Like a really small margin.
And we're only like 13 or 15.
Yeah, and then
15
right.
is probably the highest I've heard.
I've heard it.
40 million is
So we need
15 to 40.
we need Shaniqua
To do what? To have some more kids.
We need.
She ain't happy about herself.
Huh?
That's true. Great point.
So Shaniqua them.
So when Shaniqua and Jalen and all the rest were having all those kids in the 80s, we said, "Oh, you can't do that. That's unwanted black teenage pregnancy." Now we're like
NBA stars. Look.
Yeah. And so when we thought that sex and lust was out of control in the 80s with drugs, maybe not enough.
I see where you're going with that. Tobacco topic. No, but I do see where you're going with that. So when we talk about this, actually let's dig into the weeds of the Louisiana debate, right? Because it came about because there was only one actual district in the state of Louisiana.
One out of six.
One out of six that properly represented the area of the demographic where that was being called into question. And then there was a move by the NAACP to sue for a second actual area. And within that area, because of the makeup, we have a bit of a reversal. It's a Rush Limbaugh, a reverse racism type of deal, where the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Voting Rights Act of 1965, primarily Section 2, is the thing that's being called into question. And remember, in 2023, a part of the Voting Rights Act was already stripped, right, from a very conservative group of people. It started getting gutted. And the continuation of this at this point is to remove the Section 2, which is one of the major and main topics of voting rights. So Lynn and Steph, I'll start with y'all on this one. What could be the repercussions of moving or removing this actual act, Section 2?
You go ahead.
Okay.
I had it here.
Just a situation where a whole population of people could feel disenfranchised and throw up their hands and just say, what's the point? You know, it's already too many of us saying that my vote, my one singular vote doesn't count, doesn't matter. Why bother? And we have statistical evidence of if those folks had to come out and did their thing, we'd be moving in a whole different direction right now.
Let me ask you this. Whenever I think about this reminds me so much of redistricting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the whole thing that is just overtaking my thoughts right now, because it's just a move. A lot of our governor is fighting like hell to redraw the maps and the county line and everything so that the Republicans can have more power.
Oh well, that's done.
Yeah, and so this is just it on a larger scale, and we can just see how it's trickling down.
Wait a minute. So in 2023, I knew something was off. 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court actually sided with black voters.
Alabama.
Because Alabama was between Alabama and Louisiana as far as their racism. Oh, they're racist.
Hey, neck and neck, baby. Neck and
What
neck.
about am I crooked letter?
Oh, that's the Godfather.
Mississippi?
That's the Godfather.
They're the
That's
OG.
the Don of racism.
Yeah,
You know what? That's the
Hey,
thing.
it's not Kentucky.
No.
Nah, they're not in the Kentucky ain't even in the same category.
I would tell you it's about Kentucky. Kentucky is a red state, but the governor is a Democrat.
Okay,
Correct.
and I think people are saying that because they want to go to the Derby and dress up. But okay,
Hold on. Let's go back for a second.
good
Yeah.
Instagram
People,
picture.
people watch this. Sometimes we act laughing and having fun, but I don't want no one to ever come behind us and say, "Oh, you misquoted the numbers or the historical fact." No, I don't want that because I'm not going to misquote. So in 2013, Roberts wrote the opinion that ended the requirement for states with a history of racial discrimination to receive federal approval before changing their laws. And that was part of that section 2 that you're talking about.
Yes.
So they had already started in 2013, and ironically, let's see, President Obama had got elected the second time. Now, it's funny because he kind of, in a sense, he kind of had to do that. Because in 2012, if y'all remember correctly, though the Republicans was trying to gut the Affordable Care Act, they were trying to destroy that thing because that would take away the entire. It would be like President Obama never got elected.
Mm-hmm.
And they and Roberts fooled the court 5-4 decision. And I said, when he does that, because I think he knew righteously that was the right thing to do, but he have to make up for it.
Okay, so I was going to wait to read this, but I want to read this real quick. And Deuce, after I read it, I want you to hop in on it to see where you are with this part of it. And followed by Deuce, Rich, and then Lynn and Steph. Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh. All right. Question on Wednesday, and this is an article coming from the Washington Examiner. Question on Wednesday when the endpoint should be for race to no longer be considered in congressional redistricting. This is absolutely about redistricting. It's absolutely about our vote. It's absolutely about fixing one place and stripping another. All right. As a high court heard arguments in case, which I don't think should be a thing. I agree with you, Lynn. Just moving back on that point. We've talked about, it's been decided. Why is this a thing again? Why is this a thing, America? Anyway, heard arguments in the case that could limit the Voting Rights Act power in redistricting. The Supreme Court heard arguments on Wednesday, yada, yada, yada. I need to find his quote directly because I think it is a testament to the, I lost it.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
So the quote that I have from the website that I pulled from, I don't want y'all to say this is AI generated. This court's cases in a variety of contexts have said that race-based remedies are permissible for a period of time. Going back to 64 and 65.
Right.
Sometimes for a long period of time, decades. We're in the 60-year point. Okay. In some cases, but they should not be indefinite and should have an endpoint. Conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh told Janai Nelson, president of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, who was arguing on behalf of a group of black voters. I don't think he's completely wrong.
I don't either.
Okay.
Before we
See
get,
the irony though?
yeah, Deuce.
Somebody who has no term limit is talking about something having a term limit.
Great argument back. Great argument.
While you're thinking about that, Deuce, let me also throw this out. This is the same Supreme Court that said they could use race. ICE agents can use race.
That's a factor.
Determining
As a factor, you have to say it correctly. As a factor.
Absolutely, it's a factor when determining if somebody is a citizen or not even a citizen. When determining if somebody should be what I consider at this point, this is a personal opinion, eligible to be harassed by those guys. So in one stance, race is a factor, but in another,
it's one of the factors.
It's one of the factors, but in another stance, we shouldn't think about it at all. It should be completely disregarded. But give me a second. We'll get back to that. I said it was going to be on Deuce first, so let's get there with it.
All right. So even though I hate to say this, I agree with sections of Kavanaugh's statement, because I only agree with it due to the nature of populations, right? So if you look at how districts are normally drawn, one of the factors is based on keeping together people with shared economic, cultural, or social interests, right? And then they also want to keep counties, parishes, and cities whole as much as possible, right? So if those go into the ingredients of making a district, race has to be a factor. So to me, what it sounds like is, and when you account for the amendments where it says, let's see, Voting Rights Act, right? Section 2, maps cannot dilute minority voting power or discriminate based on race. So race is a factor. I think what the challenge is, everyone I'm reading, race shouldn't be the leading factor, kind of like what Rich was talking about with ICE, right? They're saying that it's a factor for them to stop, frisk, do all that stuff, right? But it shouldn't be the leading factor, even though we know. But in this case, I think the challenge is what they're saying, what they're trying to allude to, is that race is the leading factor. So it will be up for the other side to say what other variables that they include in challenging the redrawing of the map.
So I'm going to push back on that just a little bit, because in the actual court case that assisted in establishing the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the court case in 1983, it's summarized as, I'm going to say Gingle, something of that nature, right? It actually establishes the criteria that needs to be met in order to ensure the prosecution, or that it gives a metrics that has to be met, and it's not all surrounding race.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they're challenging it because they're saying that the new map, the map that has 2 black districts. Yeah. They're saying that they're redrawing it because the primary factor is race. So I think in order to uphold the new map, they got to come up with other factors as to why they're drawing that map.
No, the only factor that they did the redistricting on was race, because that's what applies to in that section 2 of that 65 Voting Rights Act. That's the only thing. So what they're basically saying is you have used a racial bias to give power to blacks in this particular district. So it comes down to the question, why did you even create the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment? It was for the enslaved Africans and their descendants, particularly the 14th. So this is what I'm sorry.
No, I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is, in order to have the 2 black districts, they got to find other factors.
But that's not.
Well, what are you saying?
If we're looking at this, the Voting Rights Act 65, Section 2, anything that would dilute the clout of minorities. Now, this is what someone was saying in this column. I think it was an NPR column, if I'm not correct. They says anything that would result in the diluting of the clout of minorities. Now, this is how they're saying it for Section 2, even without direct proof of racist intent. My thing is, the Civil Rights Act was enacted, both 64 and 65, for African Americans, for no other minority but them. Now, did other people,
I was going to say,
other people get privileges or benefits from that? Okay. I won't argue that. But I'm going back to my foundational argument. 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was for the enslaved African and the descendants. Now, what they're trying to say is, at a certain point in time, this is what a percentage of white America, in my personal opinion, is saying, enough's enough. We're already losing the majority of whiteness in America. You have people coming across the border illegally and stay here off taxpayer dollars, regardless of how they get those taxpayer dollars, regardless of how you define insurance, medical coverage, regardless of how you define it, they're getting assistance. So a percentage of white America, in my opinion, is saying enough. And so they elected a person, along with some swing voters, that agreed. And so this conservative court is going to gut, to the best of their ability, without overthrowing the country, this Section 2.
Lynn, and- go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Lynn and Steph, where y'all at with that?
I just keep thinking about what you're saying about race, especially with ICE and everything. Like, how can you define race without documentation or, birth certificate? Because it's a whole lot of people of color. So that's just a target to me. It's just like anybody that's not Caucasian looking is targeted.
Or if they're white looking and they're still Hispanic, they may slide through. If they're Cubans, don't consider themselves brown people. At least some of the Cubans.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you determine other than what you look like? And you can get that wrong, Yeah, you can get that wrong.
Oh yeah, growing up in Philly, I got mistook for a Puerto Rican all the time.
Okay, that's
All
fair.
the time.
That's fair.
Puerto Rican girls would come up to me speaking Spanish, and I had to break their heart. No habla inglés.
When Latinas do this is what drives me crazy about this.
What?
Puerto Rico, Cuba, anywhere in Latin America. If the slave ship landed in that particular country and you spoke Spanish coming out of slavery, so be it. And so it seems like sometimes the Black Latina thinks, oh, I speak Spanish, I'm not Black. Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
That's always the number one.
That's a certain
Certain ones feel that
yeah,
way.
certain, it's almost like, like it's a movement with the
Yeah, I get it.
the Afro Latino or Latina.
But listen,
And they're not happy about that either, because it's not what you see, on TV and in commercials. They'll tell you that, in a split second. Like, for instance, something with the community of people that I call my friends. I used to dance salsa a lot. And so it was like a lot of people from a lot of different, Latin backgrounds.
Right.
And some of them, felt a certain way because they thought they looked a certain way, and other ones didn't. And they were, some were, as dark as all of us, and some were lighter. But our teacher is Puerto Rican, our professor that taught us and everything. And he would always tell me, Stephanie, you remind me of my mother. And I'm like, how do I remind you of your mother? Because I was ignorant. And he was like, well, my mother was Black. And I was like, whoa. First of all, your mom's Black, and look, second of all, you admitting that, or you're giving me that information. And his hair's like very, very, very wavy. He has awesome brown skin and just all of this. But and he taught us how to behave in, it's gonna sound crazy, in some salsa clubs, because here in Houston, if you go in there like with me, if somebody, when you start dancing, they automatically think, she must be Puerto Rican or Dominican. I can't be Black. And they would say, and then when they would say to me, hi, or do like dance, bale, and I'll say like, sí or no, they could tell I'm not, a Latina. And they go, why you like this music like that? And my teacher taught us that we like this music because it's Afro music.
Yes.
And, the whole Afro. So I got like a huge lesson, but no, they speak out about that too. It's not just the girl, with the real long straight hair and the light skin. And then one great singer, she's like, Celia Cruz.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, she came from like Sesame Street. She's just like one of, who else was it, like Tito Puente. Anyway, they came up with the word salsa because it used to be called mambo and all this kind of stuff. But they tell you that it came from slaves They were brought over and they were, they learned Spanish and everything because it wasn't just us,
Right.
You're putting different regions, Brazil, all these different places, wherever you got dropped off, but like they would dance, and that was the whole Afro thing. It came from us, though. That's why I like this music.
But the reason why I say these things and how all what you said ties back to this Voting Rights Act, to that 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment, because those three is solely for the enslaved African when they were set free and their children. It was not for no one else that comes to this country. So that birthright citizenship, and I'm going to pound this, but here's where the court's going to catch themselves. So, like you said, on one hand, you got no term limits as a judge. You're just going willy-nilly and doing what you want to do and applying the law. Okay. And you're representing certain percentage of white America, and you're white. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same hand, when you want to denounce that birthright citizenship, and you have to specify that was for the Black Americans, the enslaved African and their descendants, when you have to specify that out of your mouth, that's going to send a message that's a lot more powerful than this one here. Because I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I have a little pushback on that, because although I agree that the point of origin for those amendments were the enslaved peoples, the continuation is for other peoples as well. And the reason why I say that is because if we stop at that point of 13th, 14th, and 15th amendments for the children of the enslaved, the descendants of the enslaved peoples, well, then essentially you're saying that we shouldn't be able to enjoy the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth.
No, I said those amendments were specifically for the enslaved African. I didn't say enslaved people. I said enslaved African. Going back to which the European, the Romans named it, is really the Garden of Eden or Ekbalam, however you want to say the correct name. But when the Europeans renamed it and called it Africa, I'm talking about those people who came enslaved. So they had this other war.
So even with that being said, I agree with you. I just, as a continuation, it's that it doesn't simply stop with us. It becomes inclusive, and that's why they debated all the.
No. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the war is going to come. See, this little stuff here, this doesn't mean much to me, because they've been wanting to gut this for years, and they're going to gut it. Get it over with. And if you want someone to show a picture ID when they vote, do that too. In all the states, I could care less. But that
they were trying to do it from a very long time ago, and now that our current president is in office, they have the balls to do it, because they're actually like, instead of all this kumbaya, everybody get along and we're all equal and all this kind of stuff, they're like, enough of it. Now let's get back to.
Yeah, it's a Stephen Miller orchestration.
We really are.
We
really are.
To when America was great.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we're gonna make it great again.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, oops, my bad. Give me a second. Let me put us back onto the side.
Okay.
Share. No, not Deuce. My goodness. I'll get us back here, and then I'll share it again. Give me a second. I'll add it again. All right. I wanted to read this, and I wanted to do a verbatim so that we can all see it as well. Right. So this is operation of the amended section 2, and these are the factors that have to be considered when it's being contested. Right. The Senate Committee on the Judiciary issued a report to accommodate the 1982 legislation. In that report, it suggested several factors and I wanted to bring this up as a factor to tie in what Rich was saying. He's absolutely correct that race can be considered as one of the factors that ICE can use. But for courts to consider when determining if, within the totality of the circumstances in a jurisdiction, the operation of the electoral device being challenged results in a violation of Section 2. These factors include the history of the official voting related discrimination in the state of political subdivision.
Right there.
Yep.
Stop right there. That one there, 2013, no longer is valid.
Okay.
The 2013 said, hey, the Supreme Court said they stopped it to where states with a history of racial discrimination to receive federal approval before changing has ended.
And I'll come back to that in a second. Please remind me. I looked something up not too long ago. The extent to which voting in the elections of the state or political subdivision is racially polarized, which is, I think, the part that they're starting to use. The extent to which the state or political subdivision has used voting practices or procedures that tend to enhance the opportunity for discrimination against the minority groups, such as unusually large election districts, majority vote requirements, and prohibitions against bullet voting. The exclusion of members of the minority group from candidate slating processes, the extent to which minority group members bear the effects of discrimination in areas such as education, employment, and health, which hinder their ability to participate effectively in the political processes, the use of overt or subtle racial appeals in political campaigns, and the extent to which members of the minority group have been elected to public office in the jurisdiction. Right?
So let me guess. And so you're saying these non-African Americans, they're not the minority group. So how are they even bringing this? Because they're saying, because now I'm putting your words back in your mouth. They're saying the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment apply to them too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was saying that, like, they're using this as a continuation. And remember that in the 14th, the constitutional amendments that actually encase and surround the Voting Rights Acts, right? We have the 5th, we have the 14th, we have the 25th, 26th, there's a couple more that I can't remember off the top of my head anymore. I'll look them back up. But there are multiple different amendments to the United States Constitution that actually encompass and protect voting rights.
Yeah, but all those other rights had nothing to do with the enslaved African until the 14th.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm not disagreeing with that. The amendment, it holds all the other ones up.
So check this out. This is what I keep saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, no, I want you to keep going. I just want to make this thing real quick. James, when you get a chance in the chat, I'll put an article. There's a map in there. If you could bring that up while Richard's explaining his point.
Okay. So
Gotcha.
I just want the viewers to hear this. When you get up in arms, I'm not talking to people here in the podcast, and say, leave it alone. Don't do anything. This is wrong. And when they say, well, we're being discriminated against. Because if you raise holy hell here, then your argument down the road for that birthright citizenship, and this is what I'm saying, if the Supreme Court guts this, and they're going to gut it to the best of their ability, but when it comes time for that birthright citizenship, where they have to acknowledge that they don't want to give you birthright citizenship because you came to this country illegally, and then you fire back and say, if you came to this country illegally, well, my child I had here should have birthright citizenship by the 14th Amendment. By the 14th Amendment, and they got to fire back on you and tell you that was for the children, and for the enslaved African, then you're gonna feel funny. I'm telling you, and this is remember when I said a long time ago, I said there's two sides of the Republican Party regarding the immigration. There is a side who claim they're pro-America. Are they racist? Are they prejudiced? Oh, I don't know. Take a pick. And then there's another side of the Republican Party. Capitalism, exploitation of low wages. And they want every person to come to this country illegally, particularly from Mexico, because that's the closest one. And they've been doing it the longest. And they want you to come to this country, work in those fields, work into the hotel industry, the construction industry, and they want to make every dime they can because they can't get Tyrone to do those low wage jobs anymore. And so they want you to come here, but
they can't get producers to do them jobs no more.
Right. So the Republican Party is kind of at war within itself, but they're never going to say that openly. This is another situation. They don't want the racial bias to help Black folks out anymore. They say enough's enough. But in order to stop that, to get rid of that birthright citizenship, and that's the big one. All of this is small fries. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a layering. This is just it's layering. It's layering up to what they're really pushing for. So Deuce, this is that map that you wanted me to pull up.
Are you able to zoom in on just the map part?
second.
He got skills.
I know he's doing that. Bop, bop, bop. All right. So here's the thing, right? So what they're doing is reshuffling the districts. It's still 6 districts.
Yeah.
Old map, new map, 6 districts, right? So
Redistrict.
the key is Shreveport. Shreveport is the key. So the old map that they want to use, the one black district. Come on, we all know this. Pop quiz. Where do most black people live at in Louisiana?
No.
Nolens, right? So that's our one black district, right? But if you had to list 2 other cities in Louisiana that have a high population of black people, who would you say?
Baton Rouge
Baton Rouge.
or Lake Charles.
Yeah.
Lake Charles, yeah, but Shreveport.
Shreveport.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people would say Shreveport before Lake Charles.
Yeah.
So what the map they want to use, right, splits Shreveport and Baton Rouge. See,
Yeah.
so that's what's at dispute. Shreveport is in a district by itself. So Shreveport, the district is in now, is that in the northwest part of the state, which dilutes the influence that black people have there. Because I'm pretty sure outside of Shreveport, it's not too many black people. So the new map, because it's the only thing I can find about how to draw a district. One person, one vote. So each district has to have equal amount of people in it, right? That's why major cities, that district might be real tight on those city lines. And out in the countryside, like you see, District 5 is so wide because they have to try to counter that with equal amount of population, right?
Okay.
So the new map is connecting Shreveport and Baton Rouge.
What?
Say that again, dude.
The map that we want with 2 black districts is combining Shreveport and Baton Rouge together.
That's
So those
still
2 black populations make
So
That's
so
another black district.
another black district. Gotcha.
Yeah,
so.
we ain't losing New Orleans.
So now listen to this. Not to get off. This is all tied in together. Not to get off topic here. When Texas said we're doing a redistricting, we don't care about the every 10 years of federal census and the population. We're doing a redistrict. Try to pick up 5 seats. California does the pushback. I have my ballot right here. Okay. And they're trying to pick up 5 to neutralize Texas 5. But let's go on down to the rest. Illinois can't do a redistrict. They're maxed out. I think Missouri may have picked up 1.
What do you mean? Hey, go back. What do you mean Illinois is maxed out? What does that mean?
They can't pick up even if they did a redistrict, they can't pick up no more new seats for Democrats. They're maxed out.
Oh, okay.
So North Carolina, they got 1. Missouri got 1. Okay.
By
New
1,
York,
you're saying
they
a seat
pick
they
up
can
1
pick
seat.
up?
Let's see.
Hopefully, they're hoping that they can pick up a Republican seat in both North Carolina and Missouri. New York is considering it. So redistricting efforts have been undertaken in New York. I don't know how many seats they're trying to pick up for Democrats. Right now, if everything goes the way it's been structured, Donald Trump will come out ahead. President Trump will come out ahead by 2 seats, not including New York yet. So when I was saying all along, I said, if Gavin Newsom, governor of California, does the pushback on Texas, the strategists for President Trump have already figured out long term, if everybody does this redistricting, we'll still come out ahead.
But if they are able to levy legislation with the Supreme Court, the Democrats lose 19 seats.
They fight like hell for that, or they fought like hell for that.
So
Here.
redistricting across America, where'd you get that number 19 at?
The Democrats lose 19 seats.
If you do I just counted the states who are doing redistricting.
The
Where
reason
are you getting number 19?
the reason why this fight is becoming so prominent and pushed is because if they are able to redistrict 1, it sets precedence for everything, and they don't have to worry about when states can redistrict. They can essentially redistrict how they want, and it puts the Democrats in a position to lose 19.
No. So I want to see the website. I want to see the link that you looked this information up. I want to see it because I think that's a talking point from I know talking points, and I know when someone is giving you straight numbers. because I'm going to multiple places and looking.
Like that on our news.
That sounds like a talking point.
Yeah, but it was 5 seats in Texas.
Yeah. So that now
I thought,
5 seats in
I
Texas.
thought California, their maneuver,
Yeah, pick up
When,
5. So
you
we
know,
balance it.
balance it out.
Yeah. So when you look at the conservative channels or the liberal channels, in this particular case, I think they're telling us the truth in this case, and they're giving us the same number. Because I'm not going to say when someone gives you the same number from the conservative or the liberal channels that they're telling us the truth. I'm not going to say that because I don't have enough faith in that. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 choices.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm still reading it. I have to find
No,
the article that I read earlier because what we're talking about, we're simply talking about redistricting black areas. The article that I read earlier, it's taking black and brown.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about overall when the state says Texas said, "Hey, we're going to do a redistricting to pick up 5 seats." California says we'll do the pushback and try to pick up 5 to counterbalance you. Now the other red states say, "Hey, we're going to do our pushback," and then the blue states say we're going to do our pushback. But at the end of the day, I really firmly believe this. Can't quite prove it yet. That whoever the strategists are telling President Trump, go on and push this redistricting because we've counted out these votes and we believe it's worth the fight because we'll get out ahead. But 19, I don't know about 19. 2 or 3, because if you think about it, 2 or 3
19 Democratic-held congressional districts could fall into Republican hands and keep the House under GOP control, depending on the results of a landmark case being re-argued before the Supreme Court on Wednesday. The question being deliberated in Louisiana v. Calais centers on whether Louisiana's intentional creation of a second majority minority congressional district violates the 14th or 15th Amendments. The 14th Amendment grants yada, 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 yada.
Wait. Go back to that 14th Amendment and read that again. Grants birthright, citizenship, and equal treatment under the law.
Yep.
Okay. That was designated for the enslaved African and their descendants.
Yes.
But they're not telling you that here. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Go ahead.
So this article is an MSN article, Newsweek, right? Hold on.
Rich. He lost him.
No, because they're highly liberal. CNN is liberal, but they hate Trump. If I look at Fox, I know they're gonna hate everything that CNN or MSNBC is. I try to go to News Nation. They claim to be neutral to the best of their ability.
King, what about it?
I was about to pull this up and his daggone pop-up jumped up on me. Give me a second. And this is why I'm doing this. So you see that it's coming out of more than just one source.
Okay.
This, yeah, Dems could lose, and this is not the B. It's just another article that looks at different things.
Not the B.
19, yeah. Dems could lose 19 seats if Supreme Court overturns race-based, so on and so forth. Right? Give me a second, and I will.
Wait a minute. Okay, I see the confusion. We were talking about Trump acting up and doing a redistrict in Texas and running the long strategy.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about overall. I'm talking about
the Supreme Court does it. Okay, you got it.
Yeah. From the
those states that could be that if Louisiana wins this, right? We're talking about a lot of states in the South. Texas is already leaning forward with it. I haven't heard Florida jump into this boat yet, unless I missed it.
Trust me.
I haven't heard Florida unless it's not time yet. But they can trigger something for that, right? Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama could re-challenge.
Yep.
Right. So I think those are the key states where you have a lot of.
I think Alabama was so horrendous. I don't know what y'all doing down there, but you can be racist in this country, but my goodness, they were really out of control.
So the question for the panel, pulling it back in. Question for the panel. I know Lynn's been there waiting patiently for a while to say something. Where is this going to take us? Where could this take us?
Oh God, Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking that is because on the other side, we've been hearing the drums of war, of civil war being beat. If this happens and black and browns are debased of these voting rights, where could this possibly take us as a country?
Well, I don't believe we head to a civil war because the Civil War was basically an East Coast kind of thing. Now you're talking about having warring factions across 4 time zones. I don't see that as a realistic happening over this. For me, this just becomes another hurdle that we've got to figure out how to overcome. Now, I saw a piece this week that really resonated with me regarding African Americans versus other minorities, where we're the only minority in this country that doesn't have their own language or own flag. Like even if you're an Italian American, right?
Great
You
point.
can go home, you can speak Italian, you can throw up that red, white and green flag. You can throw pasta all over the place. If you're Mexican, on there the same flag.
Yeah.
You speak in Spanish, but
What about Ebonics?
we're the only group. We're the only
I'm
group
kidding.
without a language
Yeah.
or a flag to call our own. We got to roll with Stars and Stripes. But who has been more influential in this country
Yep.
as a culture than the ones with no language and no flag?
Yeah. We just
See,
got
I would say you bring up some good points. You bring up. I think we all know why. I think the listeners know why we don't have a common language or a flag. However,
Just throwing this out here to the panel.
yeah, but we haven't. You know what? I haven't seen that recently as much as I would like to see it. But I think back in the day, if you're looking at like the 60s, the 70s, we had some type of central figures that we could rally around to galvanize us, right? Including the Black church. I think all of those have been diluted or destroyed. I can't name one Black civil rights leader that I would rally behind like I would with the Black Panthers, King, X, Garvey, etc. Right? I can't think of one person like that. And 2, the Black church is losing its foothold. It's not as influential as it once was in the 60s and 70s. So I say that to say I think it's easier to break us up into fragments so we won't fight for a unified goal.
Wait a minute. Let's go back for a second.
Yeah, because a lot of us have gotten out of the barrel.
Yeah.
Well,
And when we was all stuck in the barrel, we could unite and unify and whatever. But now, we out in the suburbs and the exurbs of America,
Wow.
and
America.
we've been fractured. That's why we got to get from 40 million to 45 million to 50 million. We gotta start
wait a minute.
growing
So-
those billions.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back. So this is where I really get into it with white people. I'm just going to say it. When they say that slavery happened all over the world from the beginning of time, and they are correct, but the type of slavery that was enacted upon the Africans who were enslaved and brought to America was highly specialized. And the
Yeah.
fact that their names were taken, their language, they tried to beat the culture out of us to the best of their ability. And then we just flipped it on them and Americanized it. But it was a very special type. So even the slaves who went through Rome, they still held their names, and most of them were set free after 7 years. But see, they won't readily identify with this. Not even the liberal rights won't really want to recognize, because none of us have our original African names. So I'll stop.
No, so I get that. I think my frustration, kind of going to what Lynn was saying, man. What do we do now? So right now, this is with the Supreme Court. A lot of experts are saying they're going to talk about this at 26, right? Maybe December 26 to let us know. Might be sooner.
It'll be sooner.
It might be sooner, right? one, what
They
can
got-
we do to change it? Two, they've already, like you said, the Supreme Court judges, they don't have a term limit. They there for life, right? They like herpes. Once you get it, you ain't getting rid of it, right? They there till you die. So how can we change it? Because even if we get the right people at the state level and they redraw the maps, it's going to get shot down in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So it's just Mike Tyson knockout. It's that cycle. You get all the bad bosses to where Mike level you with one punch.
Well, hold on.
So
wait a minute.
what's the way forward?
So here's the
Even
first
if we change
I know
Congress,
a lot of people.
the Supreme
Well, not
Court.
a lot of people. I know at least 1, 2, 3 people that they're ready to move. Actually, my sister, one of my sisters, yeah, she's moving to Panama.
I'm out of here.
Where you going?
Is that your sister? That my okay. Oh, we getting out of here. We'll talk to you about that
So,
later.
wait a minute.
And then one of my best friends from college, she's Mexican, and she was one of our bridesmaids. But I've known her sister as almost as long as I've known her, and I told you about this I guess several shows ago. She moved back to Mexico because she was just so freaked out. And it's just so much. But yeah, she moved back, and because she didn't want to go through all of this stuff that is unfolding now.
And
I guess you kind of feel it.
And I think those are dope options, but I'm gonna say this with the utmost respect, right? I still don't think these are creative options.
No, I agree with you too, because it's like another thing that you see in social media is like when the people start saying I'm moving here, moving there, and all this, and then when people dive deeper into it, they be like, who all over there? You know, like where your country at? And I don't, let me see how they act over there.
Even like you guys have the resources to move. The majority of Black folks either don't have the resources to move or there are other obligations that keeping them here.
Listen,
Right?
you can go right back to Hurricane Katrina.
Do?
You can go back to Hurricane Katrina. They couldn't even leave. Black folks couldn't even leave Hurricane Katrina. So for them to all of a sudden, Black folks to get up to move to another country, even though that's an option. So here's my first thing: stop expecting the government to do something for you. I don't sound like a Republican, but I don't expect anything. Number 2, no political party affiliation. Stop giving your votes freely to the Democrats. Number 3, have a voter ID. Now, the older Black folks, I can't tell them anything. I respect my elders. But anybody in my age group and below, have your ID so you can vote. Stop giving excuses. And I guess that's my number 4. Stop.
Wait, so number 4, all right, so have your voter ID and vote. But then you say don't give your affiliation to a party. And I know what you say, Rich. We're a 2-party system. So who do you vote for?
So you can vote.
Because you can
Wait a minute. I didn't say that you couldn't vote for a Democrat or a Republican or a Green or an Independent. I just said don't give no political affiliation so they can't automatically assume.
Okay.
Because when you say that you're a Democrat, then they expect you to tote the Democratic plantation. The Republican expects you to tote the corporate plantation. Yeah. I'm not toting either one of you guys' plantation or corporate plantation because I don't believe in the Federal Reserve System.
So the vote local does have changes, but you can't rule out the federal implications. Look at what Trump's doing now. So let me also state this. Something that Rich says that I agree with absolutely is that you have to have hope. And in politics, there are 2 different strategies that's played on. It's hope and fear. And unfortunately, fear is the biggest and most well-versed tactic to get people to stay in a specific fashion, right? Also, here's the hope for whatever happens. First off, yes, we gonna leave this place, but here's the hope for whatever happens. So the Supreme Court is not the actual final adjudicator of what comes out after they've made their reinterpretation of any amendments. That's only one process. The other process, which is where people should actually get pissed about, is what Congress can do to go back and correct the wrong.
That is true.
Notice does, because Congress can put out and push a statute to overturn what the Supreme Court does, or go back and rewrite the things that actually are pushed out by the Supreme Court.
You're right.
So
The Supreme Court can't create a law.
Absolutely. And so if the Supreme Court, or if we're not pushing our congressional leaders in the manner in which we want them to reflect, which is why redistricting is a big thing, right? We're not going to be able to get where we want to be. So the hope is in the future, like they're doing all of this to stop the midterms. Make no mistake about it.
Okay, because it's just like, where the hell is all this
yeah.
stuff coming
If you think voting for a two-party system that's been at play at this for the last 100 years is going to create something new, you're wrong.
Oh, I agree.
I don't know how the Affordable Care Act got passed. That was just the will of God.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Like you were saying, Deuce, where do we go and what happens? This is something that I've been thinking about for a while. We haven't even hit a year yet with our current administration.
Whew.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, like this next 3 years. But I was also thinking, what do we do? What we've been doing all along? And then it's like, look, surviving and thriving where we will, whatever that ends up being and looking like, you know, and we'll learn from each other, you know, what other people are doing to survive. So there will be some camaraderie, you know, where we just come together as you know, the same race and then just as human beings. But this, I don't know when, but this too shall pass. But I'm like, dang, we ain't even out the first year. I'm so tired. And how all this time, I'm so confused with our laws and our ordinances and our constitution, because half of this stuff that is being allowed or done, I thought was illegal.
It is.
It is. And what people see, I think what people are missing, because I see it every day as the rule. Every day, the Supreme Court, like they just said, these massive layoffs, no, you can't do that.
Right.
But he's just a guy that throws as much crap up against the wall as possible to see what sticks. But what people are missing is most of it is not sticking.
It's just like to create that fear and that anxiety.
But with fear, people are thinking, oh my God, it's all sticking. And most of it is not sticking.
Because one thing we had a talk a couple of weeks ago, you know, you just living your life and then all of a sudden it's like the humidity in Houston. Why am I angry? And it was like, oh, the humidity. It's like, why am I frustrated and angry? Oh, because I've been watching too much news. Oh, and he was like, Stephanie, how is this affecting your life day to day? I didn't even know that I had let it creep up on me. And then I was like, oh, like, woosah, you know, and had to think, and still came home, baked cookies or whatever we like to do. And you just keep moving on. So how it affects you individually or collectively, it depends on what you're surrounding yourself with and how much you're letting it get into you, because otherwise we'll be overwhelmed. And that's what we are now, because we don't we have solutions. We don't know. And all of this is kind of new to us because we're really deep in diving deep. Like Richard, you know, with all his research, which I applaud you for. You be on it, Richard. But it's just like, you have to revisit everything and see. But it's really a great education. Like, this is an opportunity for us to learn what's really going on and to learn our laws.
Yeah.
My thing is, you never know on social media who's watching you. Let me speak for myself. I never know who's watching me, and I'll be held accountable for my words. And I want them to take me back to court. I beg you. But when it comes to history, history is history under normal circumstances, unless the part of history they don't want written. My thing to Black America is this: I may not be a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but stop thinking that same old status quo.
Yeah.
You keep that pride, your self-respect for yourself and for the community. But as long as you keep voting the same damn way, you'll get the same result. And even when we got the Affordable Care Act, which was a miracle for all of America, and they tried to gut that. That had been in the making for 40, 50 years. And if they knew how to gut that, and the only reason why they haven't gutted it, the only reason why the Supreme Court hasn't gotten rid of it, this conservative court, is this: when a certain percentage of white America got on affordable care, they said, "You're not taking that from us," and that was that. That was
Well,
that.
that's part of the reason why we're in this government shutdown now. Is because they
Yeah.
can't change the law, but they can say, "Hey, we're not going to fund it."
Yeah.
Right. Or underfunded.
So we're talking about this redistricting, and Gavin Newsom is fighting here in California, acting like he knows what he's doing. And the Democrats have not caved yet. And I told you,
I'm shocked.
No, they can't cave on this one.
I'm shocked. No, you're right. Because
What I tell you.
it would be 3
What I
L's in
tell
a year.
you.
You lost the election. You
You
lost a big, beautiful bill. You lose this. You lose the midterm.
Because this is an assault on the Affordable Care Act. This is an assault on President Obama. I don't want to say our only black president.
Yes.
Don't forget about Bill.
Yeah.
I'm hoping in the future. That's what I'm trying to say. But
Okay.
at the rate we're going, we're not going to see anymore.
You know what? Though? I've been looking at the votes, right? So yesterday was interesting. The votes got pretty high. I think it's like 55. Yay.
Cut the lights back on.
It was, yeah. But then today it returned back to the yays were like under 50 again.
Yeah.
So 3 Democrats voted with the Republicans yesterday. Today,
In
2
the
of the
Senate?
Democrats,
In the
Huh?
Senate?
huh?
In the
Yeah,
Senate?
the Senate. Yeah. 3 Democrats swayed to the Republicans yesterday. Today, 2 of those 3 voted no, and the third one just didn't vote.
Because the Democratic Party got a hold of them and said, "What the hell are you doing?"
And it
Yeah.
was funny because yesterday, Chuck, it was up to 40 nay. Because if you have 41 nay, you don't have a vote, right? It was up to 40. Chuck Schumer walk his ass over there.
41.
Yeah, bro, get out of here, man. I still don't respect you, man. Like it was a photo
Yeah.
op, man. But I'm with you. I'm shocked that they held on this long. I think they do realize the importance not only for their people but for their jobs. And I think it's really for their jobs first, then for their people.
I'm
That's
gonna
correct. Look at the Supreme Court, though. The Supreme Court wants to gut this Section 2.
Yeah.
Well,
Clarence.
thank you. Yep, Clarence Thomas,
Yep.
Leo,
Yeah, name it.
and there's a third one,
Kavanaugh.
maybe Kavanaugh. So those 3 want to gut it. Gosh.
There's a lady
Tony
up
Barrett
there.
and Brett and Robert, they kind of smooth. We don't know which way they'll head, but they kind of want to gut it too, but they want to be respectable. The other ones don't
Yeah.
care about respect, just gut it. Then who's the 5th one? I'm off. Oh gosh.
Yes,
I'm off. Oh, the tall guy, Gorsuch.
Oh yeah.
For Gorsuch, Coney Barrett, and Judge Roberts, they want to be respectable. They want to gut you, but they want to be able to hold their head up high. Alito, Thomas, and Kavanaugh,
They don't care. They don't care.
Get off.
Yes. So they want to gut it. A part of me that says gut it and get it over with, because you wanted to gut the Roe
Why
versus
would you want to say gutted and get it? Because that's
because
putting us
at
further
a
back
certain
behind.
point- no. At a certain point in time, when white folks say a percentage of white America says
Right.
we are tired of this, we want it done. We are no longer who we used to be. Okay.
Why cave?
Okay. Because this idea that the only reason why black folks are in Congress or whatever is because of racial bias, because when they say racial bias to help black
Affirmative
folks,
action. Yeah.
which is a longer name for DEI in their minds.
Yeah.
In their minds, a percentage
In their mind.
of white America, a percentage. Now, I don't know how high it is,
Right.
but it's past 30%. Maybe not 50, but it's past 30.
So
They want this over with. My thing is, once you do this, in other words, here's what I'm going to say. If you say, we're not going to give you no more racial bias about voting, okay? That's in the past. Okay, fine. What I want to see you do is gut that birthright citizenship. And then now I know that you're serious and you're not just coming for me. Now I know that you're coming for everybody who's a minority. And if you treat all the minorities with the same level of disrespect, then I can accept that.
No, we have to be the foundation. We have to be y'all know we have to be the foundation of disrespect primarily.
I was going to say disrespect. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to be the first ones to normalize it. And after it's become normalized, it's subtly spread over to the Latinos, to the Latino culture, to the
Asian.
Asian. They're the last ones.
And no. The last one's the gay community. They on their ass.
But we were talking about race.
Yeah,
No,
we talk-
because
Yeah,
the gay
right,
community uses
Because,
uses
like you
racial-
were saying, jumping on that band, I mean, they still fall under race.
No. To a certain percentage of white America, the gay community is racial.
I get that, but
Oh,
They
you might argue.
lump us
Yeah,
all together
yeah.
as a minority to overcome them.
That's not, I mean, okay, no.
Yeah, I know it's tricky, but
but race,
remember-
race guys, when it comes to race, right? It starts out with us being widely, vastly, harshly disrespected, dehumanized.
the only thing that won't be destroyed is interracial marriage, because Clarence Thomas can't explain that one. That one he can't get out of. So
Yes,
thank God for that. I'm glad. I'm
Yes,
glad he can't get out of that.
There's still legislation that's in certain states that are pushing to get that literally back down to the local, to the state
won't
level.
It won't happen.
That's so crazy.
That
And
won't
then they're
happen.
probably just going to make it, like you said, to the
No.
state level. Let them decide.
No,
Yeah.
that won't.
We
Just
know.
like they did with the LGBT, the alphabet community, you know, states that
can't-
you're married
no,
here, you're not
no.
married here, and that's just
Clarence-
and
Clarence-
even with the abortion rights, you can't get them in Texas, so you can
Clarence
go somewhere
Thomas-
else and get it.
Clarence Thomas can't rationalize that one. JD Vance can't say, "Look, they're just young people." He can no.
I agree with that.
I think you're giving them too much credit. I think they can totally detach from that. They can detach from their personal choices.
Well,
and make the
you married
choices.
to a Caucasian woman, but you're gonna let the state of Missouri say you can't be married to a white woman, but you married to a Caucasian woman. No, that
He'll
They
move.
can
some
detach.
things you can't just quite.
Well, you know what? I'll say this with the you know, with how cruel they're being to our Latino brothers and sisters, right? And with immigration, or not even just them, but everybody. That's who's in their house, cleaning their house, cutting their yard, raising their kids.
Right.
And they're married to them too. So it's like, how dare you sit up here and try to deport people? And it's your wife.
The governor's wife here in Texas
Okay.
is Latina.
Yeah.
The man in the wheelchair,
Yeah.
Governor Abbott.
Governor
Is
Hot
he
Wheels.
Latino?
Snoop Dogg.
Hot Wheels.
I don't call them Hot Wheels. I
Don't
feel
say
that.
that. Don't
He
say
remind me of Snoop. What movie was that? Snoop? Oh, Training Day when Snoop was in it.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
I'm calling them hot.
Huh?
I don't like.
No, and I'm surprised this argument hasn't been made by Deuce.
Reciprocate.
So when the military said we want you clean shaven, or you have to get up out of here,
Mm.
but yet the vice president has a full beard. Now, that's direct hypocrisy. I mean, that's in your face.
And he's
direct
like, I'm not in the military.
Yeah, he's served.
He
He
served.
served. He's a veteran.
But he ain't in there now. So I guess he
Yeah, but
gained
is he the first?
it.
Is he the first VP to have a
No,
Technically,
no,
technically,
no,
full beard?
no. Back in the
No,
1800s.
in modern times.
yes.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
So
Yeah,
technically, the VP is also in the military.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
Is his,
start
is his
that on.
picture on the wall when you come into a military office?
No.
look,
Yeah,
I blocked it out. I don't even remember.
Don't act like that.
That's what I was asking.
No, it's just
I know the president is up there.
It's not. It's not. It's
Vice
not. It's
president up there.
You go to the VA, you see the president's face, him looking at mugshot.
Wait, is it? Let me think.
I think it is.
He got the
I-
mugshot of the
I
VA.
might just look over him. I just see
You
him.
go to the VA
Yes,
hospital.
so much.
Mr.
I might just
President,
skip
and that's
over
when
it.
he got arrested. I think he used
Right,
that picture, I
right.
think.
That picture. That's the picture
You
he
know
got at the VA.
Hey, you know what's funny? That is kind of hilarious. You say, "Oh, you want to arrest me? I'm gonna take this picture when you arrested me, and when I'm in the White House, I'm gonna use this picture to remind you how you
And he
are."
did it.
That is kind of funny.
I'm gonna kick this off around the horn. I'm not even gonna put it at 30 seconds, but I want to kick this one off, and I'm going to say something highly unpopular.
Okay.
Highly unpopular. I want them to reopen America.
I don't understand.
I want them. I want the shutdown to end.
Oh.
Oh,
I want it to end.
Yeah.
I want them to get exactly what they voted for. I want Black America to keep our asses in the house. I want all of my Latino brothers and sisters that was a part of the majority that voted for VP Harris, keep your ass in the house. And everybody else, go outside and you fight for what you believe in at this point. because now you're gonna have to shift. You gotta shift.
They're gonna have to fight.
I want the premiums to go up. I want ICE to go to everybody, every cousin, brother, and relative's house that Abuela on her interview said she was okay with being raided. I want it all to happen.
Wait, she said she was okay.
He was paid.
Yeah.
She's talking about-
For the singers that sang I will vote for Donald Trump, I want their families to feel the effects of their lack of empathy. I want it all for them. They voted for this. And as a voter, I might not agree with their vote, but I want them to get all of the consequences of their actions. I am tired. I'm dead tired of a Black America saving America and showing America what humanity looks like. If you voted for this, I want you to have all these consequences.
Ooh.
Every last one of them.
You want all the
I want all of the damn farms to close. Every last one.
So
We're gonna be hungry.
I want every dairy and beef farmer that voted for this. I want all of your farms to get sold to VP Vance.
so,
I want it all for you.
so let's bring
I'm
some.
not going to cut any slack. I'm not cutting any slack. I'm not giving any excuses. I want every piece of hatred that they wanted us to have. I want them to have it.
So first of all, I've been told by my European American colleagues that America is the leader of the free world. Okay, so that won't happen. That's what I'm told. I mean, I'm told that America is the greatest country on earth. So I'm just repeating what I've been told and what I've been ordered when I was in the military. So first of all, that's not going to happen.
Shots
will
fired.
Huh?
Jay Glass just unloaded. He was like,
Yeah, I know.
Scarface. Like, damn.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see the Democratic Party, them and the donkey, finally stand up and say, you thought when you lost the South in the Civil War that you were upset and that you would never concede nothing to these blacks, these slaves. So I want you to take that same energy, that same emotional integrity of toughness, and concede nothing when it comes to health care of all Americans, regardless of their race, religion, or their sexual orientation. I want to see you concede nothing. I want to see you fight and fight. And when the Republicans say, we're going to destroy the country, you say, yeah, we sure is. We're going to destroy this country and the North will rise again. That's what I want to see. And if you can't muster that type of relentlessness, that type of rage to fight racism, overt and covert, from a small percentage of the Republican Party, then don't ever come and talk to me about anything, because you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground and you are not worth it. And as an African American, I'm not going to give you my allegiance. Now, these other black folks who give you their allegiance to the Democratic Party, yeah, you may have hustled, bamboozled, manipulated, deceived, led astray. Those black folks, but not me. So I don't want to shut down the end. Fight to the very end and make the Republicans come in and say, okay, we're going to have to figure this out. And the premiums are already going come the 1st of November. I'm done.
No, give them all of it. Give them everything that they voted for. Deuce.
No, so I hate to say this, man, because Glass, me and you are normally on the same side of the table, but I'm getting up, dusting off my seat, walking my ass around to Richard's side, and I'm sitting with my boy in this one.
That's why we ain't win nothing, because we don't stand together.
Can't have nothing nice.
We can't have nice things.
No.
Hey, listen, the only time we win something is to fight for it. And Glass, I hear what you're saying. Keep black people safe. But from what I realized, I didn't participate in the fuck around, but I'm sure involved in the find out part. And I think that's what a lot of black people find themselves in, man. We didn't participate in the fuck around, but we are all in the mix of the find out, man. And then for us to lose, if they do reopen the government, which means the Democrats would have lost more than likely, Affordable Care Act is no more. It's going to be unfunded. There's a lot of black people that use that system to make sure that their health is right. I don't want them to suffer because they didn't pay for this. They didn't vote for this, right? So the only way to make change happen is to fight. Now the question is, where do we lend our efforts to? I
All
think
my life, I've had to fight.
midterm elections is what we got to lean into. But hey, we got to keep doing. All my life I had to fight. We got to do it, man. That's the only way we can affect change.
This
We
is
can't
for-
do it
this
sitting
health
back
care-
like being as useful as a wet blanket on a cold day.
Yeah.
This healthcare ain't about Black America, ain't about white America. It's about all of America.
Shit. I got life insurance.
Okay,
Yeah.
but when
Okay,
I'm
you
Listen,
have it.
Listen,
when
That's not.
I'm speaking the way that they continue to express themselves. Well, I've got savings. I've got money in my bank.
Yep.
I can still do this.
I'm good.
I'm not hungry.
I want to see
Gained weight.
because remember, Steve. Remember when I got on this podcast a few months ago?
It's not my problem.
Remember,
Yeah.
and I got on this podcast a few months ago, and I said Steve Bannon was on PBS, and he had his chest poked up.
Yeah.
The Democrats, they're weak,
Yeah,
they're spineless,
yeah.
and they'll fold like a cheap Walmart tent built in China. But he didn't say those exact words, but he said they were weak and spineless.
Yeah.
So what I want to see when I see these black mayors putting their chest out for the Democratic Party, what I want to know is if you had your ass in a situation, would they come to help you? Maybe.
West.
If it's in your political interest, but if it's not in your political interest, they're not coming to help you. But the way you go in and defend illegal immigrants, the way you go in on Donald Trump, and then you wonder why Donald Trump is coming for every black person in a position of power in this country. He's trying to get you up out of there.
Hey, hold on. We went around the horn to you already. I just thought of it.
Hey, he went back.
It's just Stephen Lynn's
This is the Democrats' third Wednesday.
Yeah.
Third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday, yeah. Because the first counts, right?
Right.
Government shut down on the first. They could have caved on the first.
Mm,
They didn't cave on the 8th.
no.
Now it's the 15th. Look, after 2 days, it'll be 50% of the month. And what were we talking about? 36 days?
Yeah.
Oh, let me, why you say I'm gonna
Trump's
go probably?
whole record.
Yep.
So
He taking a vacation
I
because of
believe-
Israel.
I believe. Well, see, that Israel thing fell, and I knew that was going to happen.
all through. Yeah.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew because all he does is talk tough.
Yeah.
They'll be sorry.
Peace,
Oh, one word from me, and
Peace
I'll
in the-
unleash Netanyahu.
look,
Blah blah blah.
peace in the Middle East, and
There's no money in peace.
What else? Nobel Peace Prize. Come on, make sure you don't take Tylenol. Don't. Okay.
How are you bucking for peace,
Mhm.
and then you waging war on your American
Yeah,
cities?
on your own soil.
On your American cities, how is that a person even offered up
It's like where they
And-
do that at?
the face
Right.
of
Yeah,
peace?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Now,
then they're like, "Thank you, President Trump."
Wait a minute. That's a tricky situation because everything he's doing down in Venezuela that allegedly he doesn't have the power.
How much money did he give them?
I'm not talking about that 20 billion.
I'm
If-
talking about it.
If he loses both houses and these accusations that he's using the military in violation of the rules of the Constitution and the Geneva Conventions, if he loses both houses, he will be impeached in the House.
Yeah.
Again,
Yes.
This don't mean anything.
I'm just
It-
now.
I mean, you're right. It'll be on the Guinness Book of World Records.
yeah. When
That'd be a
Clinton was
tribute. That'd be
impeached, I was on the edge of my seat, like, "Oh my God,
That was
he was
yeah.
impeached."
But
Like,
now,
what does that mean? And going through history now, it's like impeach is it's a drinking game.
nah, it's gonna mean something. So when I go for Thursday night trivia night at the local brewery up here, and they say which president received the most impeachments, I'm like, Trump. I can get a free beer.
There you go.
If Hamas does not lay down their arms and leave Gaza, which they're not going to, when Israel bombs them from every direction, I don't want to hear no crying.
No.
I want. Matter of fact, Glenn, were you finished with your round the horn segment?
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was done. I was done. I was letting
I-
Oh. I just
I want Trump to be. I want Trump to be as tough with Putin as he is with Hamas.
Oh, come on now. You know that's not gonna happen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If you that strong guy, don't pick on little people. Go after somebody.
Well, you know, come on, that's the character of a bully. You don't mess with the big dogs. You mess with the little.
yeah. Leave Venezuela alone. Go do something.
blowing up their boats every other week.
Yeah. Go do something to somebody that's gonna punch your ass back, Trump.
You know,
Factually, if a country has a nuclear bomb, you ain't telling them shit.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not. But what I'm saying is, you first off, you don't work out enough to stress to act as tough as he does.
Hold on, for Glass. I hate cutting you off, man, but he just received a bill of health that said the doctor told him he's the healthiest person he's ever seen in his entire life, and this came from Walter Reed.
Look, he's the healthiest person he's ever seen in his life with his conditions.
Yeah,
All right, there we go. With his conditions.
don't you dare do that now.
His cankles.
His hands can't, like, his ankles are literally folding over his loafers, right? But if you gonna be tough, you said, oh, just Putin. I really think Putin wants me to broker a peace deal, and he told you on multiple different occasions, including disrespecting your wife. Man, shut up. That's what Putin is saying. He came in your own backyard and said, man, shut up. You don't tell me nothing.
Yeah,
Like I said, we hold him to a standard
listen to this.
that he doesn't even acknowledge. It don't mean nothing to him. We talk to him. It's like telling a 2-year-old, go drive to the store right quick and
Listen
bring
to
me
this.
something back. They like, well,
When USSR broke up in 89 or 90, when they broke up, when Putin tried to attack Ukraine, he didn't realize that used to be part of Russia. So those Ukrainians are former Russians, okay? So you're going after one of your own, and so they know how to fight you.
No, he totally realized that. That's part of his
yeah.
manifesto. He has
He's
dreams
totally
of
claiming
back to USSR.
Okay.
That's his dream, to bring that whole thing back
got
together.
to unite it, reunite it.
Well, I'm not mad at Putin for trying, but the Ukraine, against all odds, Ukraine has said, even when the president came over here, Zelensky and Trump and J.D. Vance tried to embarrass him and belittle him, he held his ground for his country, and I respect that man so greatly.
And I'm glad you said that. So they brought JD. Well, they brought Vladimir, right?
Yeah.
They talked to him like he was a kid.
Right.
Meanwhile, Putin is still giving these guys the middle finger in HD, and they ain't saying nothing to this dude.
That HD.
No.
Goodbye.
He's like, seriously, this is the biggest punk I've ever seen in my life.
Hold on.
He came to Alaska, and one of his partners had on a USSR shirt. Specifically tell, man, I want you to say so. That's like going to somebody's house, sitting at their table and saying, man, give me your chicken.
The big piece of chicken.
No. You give me your cornbread.
Instead of dealing with that.
Can you imagine if one of the African countries like Nigeria, Burkina Faso, South Africa, could you imagine if any of those African countries developed their own nuclear weapon? America would never allow that. Neither would the Europeans. So
even Africans that came over here, he disrespected them. He told this representative where English is their first language. Oh, you speak English pretty well. No shit. That's what we do.
What country was that? I forgot that country.
Liberia.
Liberia?
Yeah.
Oh,
Liberia. Yeah.
Liberia.
That's their language.
That's their language. He's talking to the president, and the president can't get out of his racist angst, his prejudice angst, his bigoted angst to oh my God, you speak English like you, where would you educated?
Right.
Didn't the enslaved Africans, when they got their freedom in America, didn't some of them go back and create Liberia, if I'm correct?
Some of them went back and they created Freedom Town, which ended up becoming
Liberia.
Yeah.
Yeah, then others went to Belize or created Belize. Okay.
That's too much.
But okay, all right, that's enough for me. I got my lady here, and I don't want to take up too much of y'all's y'all good people's time.
Okay.
Well, we done going around the horn.
Yeah, except for me, all I want to say is, listen, we don't have the answers to everything. We gotta wait it out. But meanwhile, do not let it steal any joy that you have right now. Still count your blessings. This too shall pass. I don't know when, but like, look, go outside, walk, eat your favorite foods, do something, but don't let this consume. Don't let it consume you. It's fun to talk about, but do not let it consume you. And I hate to say it like this, but we gonna be all right because we know how to be all right. Because all we do is fight, and then we chill because we in the house right now.
And there you go. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit up Steph and Lynn and go and get your life insurance together. And also, not just that, but tune in to the Family Bloodline Network, because we're going to have different segments on different things that don't just focus on the politics of the world. Again, health and wellness, financial literacy, life insurance, trading, everything. We're going to cover the gambit, right? So this is just one segment, the Post. And as always, we're happy that you're hanging out with us. But tap back in, stay tuned. We're bringing it to everybody the way it's supposed to be. So with that being said, as always, I would like to thank everybody, the panel, for participating, and thank everybody for watching. God bless and good night.
Good night. So.